We are going to bring to you the facts, the truths that cannot be questioned about the issues that you really need to know. So that when you get to DC, a daily mantra, no way for our way ultimate.
It's a cars on the beats loading.
Folks, welcome back to the show. As I promised you, we have a unique episode tonight. When we left you, we had our amazing president from Georgia, and now we have one of our presidential candidates join us on the show. Tarawane, Tawo Dallas, New Jersey. Welcome on the show.
Thank you so much, Brendan. You're doing a very wonderful job, and quite a privilege to be with the dynamic Georgia president, Mabel. It's always fun having you around. Appreciate talking with you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Welcome,
all right.
welcome. Good to meet
This
you
show
again.
is really about our organization and about our people. And we're here to have fun, folks. We're here to have fun, right? And where to kick us off? Let's see. Tarawani, can you tell Mabel a fun fact about you that she did not know until today? Something fun, something, Tarawani, so you have a lot of stories about kids, about anything, right? A fun fact about you that she did not know. Because it's about people, right? So let's get it.
All right. Oh, that's a trick question, right? I have so many things that I've been talking with Mabel for a little bit, so I don't know what she doesn't know about me. I don't know whether she knew.
She know about your activity on the Kimbankar? Has she seen you on the Kimbankar?
That's what I'm just about to say. Whether she knew I was the lead singer at the BFU convention in Chicago, where New Jersey presented Bob Bonga. That was
Lord.
What a hit. You know about that? That was something else.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you're gonna see more of that.
All right,
Okay, I can't wait. I
folks,
cannot
and
wait.
we are going to bring you a snippet of that video that
Okay.
Tarawone is talking about when we take a musical break. Okay, but let's get on to more serious subjects. And I'm going to have the candidate for president, Tarawone Re Bannavti, answer one question from me, and then I'll turn it over to the president of Georgia to ask. I know she has got some questions for our candidate here, but let me start with it. In the last segment that I had with the president of Georgia, she talked about, and I quote, the national chapter not being able to communicate. I'm paraphrasing, please, not a quote. So forgive me. The national chapter not being able to communicate effectively with the local chapters. And the idea of national chapter is there. Do we have a national chapter, Mr. Presidential candidate? Because there is this misnomer that there may be a national chapter. Is there one?
The answer is emphatically no. We don't have a national chapter. Functionally, you may have some little spots where people who are not close to chapters register with BFU as BFU members, and therefore, since they don't have a chapter, they are termed as national chapter. I hate to say national chapter because there's none. So they are part of BFU-USA. The only thing is they want to belong, but they don't have an avenue of communing with the rest of the chapters. So BFU, since a very welcoming, open door organization, is like, okay, whatever the case, come into the house. We'll figure out where you sleep. So that is the nature of the national chapter that we may have. But I think the Georgia president puts it better than any person. BFU does not exist without chapters, period. So if we have national members who do not have a chapter, I think they are members in transit, trying to find a room within the house. So long story short, now we do not have a national chapter of BFU-USA.
Yeah, thank you so much for that clarification. I think it's very important that we educate our people on these things, right? I've also had people here in Minnesota, and actually pretty close to me, somebody said, oh, they were looking at the national leadership as if it is a national chapter. And I had to take them and say, no, it's just members of the different chapters that are elected to govern a loose federation that is made up of chapters. Will I be correct in describing it like that? Mabel, what do you think?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's basically what it is. National leadership is just members of different chapters that are elected into office to run the national organization.
Yeah,
perfect.
Coordinators.
Pretty much, the facilitators.
Fantastic. Now I am going to. Okay, it is only, folks. Let me take a moment here to say that it's only on hardball that the anchor turns over the questioning to a guest. That makes it again unique, doesn't it? So you have it.
We are, it's funny. We are a different generation into BFU. So our thought processes are always very different. And, we like change,
Yes.
we like dynamics of things.
Thank
So,
you.
Mr. Bannavti, and I'm going to go into this. And like I say, I always say I speak through my own personal lens, not the lens of anyone. I give that disclaimer so no one thinks that I'm asking for someone. I'm speaking from my own personal experience and for my own personal chapter and for the benefit of my people. My question, the first question, communication is key. Communication runs everything. Without communication, there's no organization. What is your intention, or how do you plan on effectiveness if you happen to take office?
A very important question, and thank you so much, Mabel, for asking that. In terms of communication, that is something that is like a default to me. And I believe if you want to lead a people, you lead by empower them, and you empower them through information. And you give them the information, they're able to see what you are seeing, they're able to understand where you're trying to lead them to. So communication is something that, if you look at my role within the organization to this far, is being communication, because I believe that we should do everything possible to make sure what we are working on. First of all, communication, you have to drive the content through the various platforms that you have there, either print, all the social media platforms, and make sure that people can have that information. They do not only have that information, you must be updating that information on a regular basis, because it is through that you build engagement. It is through that people feel belonging. It's through that people feel appreciated. So communication to me is something that I take like in a wholesome way, as what will make BFU different, because when you have people with information, that is how you make people believe and committed to what they're doing. Let me take a step back to give you some of these instances. There is no communication if you don't have the content. And one of the things that I've been doing in BFU is I took a program booklet and turned it into a magazine, with significant acclaim within the community, because I believe that is how you show people what they're doing, because they may be busy and they don't have the time to sit back and okay, what did we do? You need to filter that information, organize it, and present it to them so they can appreciate it. And that equally helps in the marketing efforts of the organization. That helps in terms of just the historical archive, so that your kids who come, like you say, yeah, some of us are much older than you. You may not know what we did, but if we documented that, you'll be able to have references. So that is one of the things that I just believe, if we don't put those things together, we cannot be able to build a bigger organization, because we need the foundation, and that foundation is built on information. So it is something that me and you were sitting here for the first time in BFU, having this level of conversation live. Who would have imagined that? It's not that I'm an expert in communication. I just know where to take the resources to make things work. And I can say that is something that everything that I've done, I've not done it because I know everything. I don't have done it because I have the experience in everything. I've done all of those things because I am able to identify resources, lay out a mission, and people are able to understand that and drive home the execution of that vision. So it is, I agree with you. We need to do more. And if you look at my platform, communication is one of those key things, which I say we have to maintain effective and consistent communication on what BF is doing, the projects, the budgets, and everything else. I mean, we're sitting here for how many years? Since COVID hit, I doubt how many people can answer how much money BFU has. Why can't we just be making that information available to every person on a very consistent quarterly basis? If Georgia has conceived a project and they don't even know BFU has money, how would they know that they can reach out to national leadership for help if they don't know what the coffers are saying? And for one thing, I give a lot of kudos to the chairman, the vice president of education. That is, if you look at all the publications that I've headed, there is always something about the education committee, because when I ask for the information, it is readily available. And we are like, oh, this is what we've been doing for so long. People know it because the content is there. And when I get the content, I can put the message out. If I don't have the content, I will give you blank spaces and there will be nothing there. So it's an issue that we need to do as an organization. We are growing. And I think I've understood the bits and pieces of the organization in such a way that we can put it together and make it bigger. And you will find yourself very relevant, even your kids. And you will be proud at what you're going to leave behind to your kid.
That's good. That's good. And I hear what you say. The question now becomes, you have been in this government that's exiting. What were the challenges that this issue of communication was not effective? That you, if you come into office, you're going to effect it. So what were the challenges? Just so we understand, and so from local chapter levels, we also can do our part.
And thank you for that important question, Mabel. The challenges, like with anything else, there are many of them, but you don't just fold your hands. You have to, when you identify your challenges, those are opportunities for growth, right? So in terms of what I've been doing, this is something I don't always like to talk in terms of me, because it takes everybody else to do things, you know.
So why don't you hold that thought, so that you don't talk in terms of you, based on what you were saying, and I'm going to be enumerating this as the moderator of the show. To quote you, you said there can be no communication without content. I identify that as challenge number one. And the second thing is, when you ask for information, it seems education committee readily gives back to you. I heard those two things: the absence of content, lack of, am I hearing that there's lack of also even communication within the current leadership that you're part of? And that is why that content is not readily available. We're here, we're playing hardball, and we want to play what is going on here. Just so that you don't keep anything on the what is going on, so we get to know why is President of Georgia not able to know what she needs to know to make her life in leadership effective and fun-filled. What? I want you not to forget to mention those two things. Folks, we are playing hardball.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, you know, I mentioned those things, and I think they are very self-explanatory. I am part of the national leadership, and I'm not, you know, going to be pointing fingers into directions. What I can tell you, yeah. Yeah, but what I can tell you is this: through my efforts, because I believe in that communication, and that's one of the things I was trying to paraphrase by saying I don't want to be ascribing everything to myself. You know, I did create the Likibome Quarterly, which is my, you know, the initial stage of making sure that when that information is flowing to everybody and BFU members on a consistent quarterly basis. We've not done that, and part of the reason is, yes, we BFU as of now, and that's one of the reasons I just thought, if I'm having to, you know, believing in this, if I take over the thing, I can be able to define how those communication or information flow should be, and when I ask my people to provide it, I expect it to be delivered, because that is what we are there to share to the people. So what I'm saying in that direction is, with the Likibome Quarterly, we've just had the first one. Yeah, everybody, we were in COVID, nothing was happening. And if you can go back to some of the two conventions that we had virtually, I don't want to take all of the credit, but I am proud of the work I do in driving the attendance, the participation, and the fundraising that we have at those events, because it is through those interactions that we provide the information that people need, and that's why the participation was much. So there is a lot of platform or channels through which we can pass on information to people, and I'm just saying there is more work to do, but at least I believe that that is something that needs to be improved upon as part of a gamut of activities that we need to do to bring the union to a better place than we have. So that is the essence of me trying to take over the leadership of BFU, so that with folks like you, with the relevance that you have in your own generation, we can be able to have that conversation and make sure that everybody is leveling up with the rest of the organization, and together we can build a better union. And you can take it from the perspective of just chapter members and national. That I look at national as being a coordinating body, which means you have to take the chapters, listen to them, get their feedback, give your own version or your own perspective, your own vision that you have, so that that communication is there, and we can make sure that whatever we decide, people at the chapter, they have the buy-in, the national coordinating, they know where the chapter is going to be, and then we can make an effective organization going forward.
All right, we are coming towards the end of today's show. I want to make sure the president of Georgia chapter has, get everything she needs clarified. And thank you for responding to our questions. But 2 rapid fire questions. Is there going to be a TikTok for BFU?
Well, we're not all Gen Z generation, so it must not be TikTok. Our generation ranges from which generation to Gen Z. So we like the Facebook, we like the Instagram, we like the TikTok, we like the YouTube channels, we like the emails. All of it were in it. So I'm telling you, Georgia chapter is from 0 to 95. We're all in.
I love that. She answered that for you. You see, that is what makes
that's what I'm asking, whether you're going lady first or me first, Yeah, so of course, you take everything into consideration. You have to move with the times and make sure that you deliver it where the folks are, so that they can have it within their own level of platform that they prefer. So reach out to the people. Don't let the people come to you. So look for them where they are, and then you deliver it the way they want it.
And one last thing, above all, I think what makes people they lack interest, or they get out of likings of all because you can get those platforms, but when you start sending junk, when everybody wants to market their personal stuff, like, we have to keep it clean to make sure if I see an email from Georgia National, it's something important, I'm reading it. Not to say that we create these platforms and then it becomes a media for which everybody wants to tell a story or share some memes that they've seen somewhere. We have to respect those platforms. So I think above all, that's what's going to keep people engaged.
And thank you for that. That is part of the reason that we, even the WhatsApp group, we try to keep it clean. Even though you have some of those things that come in, we still try to talk to people behind the scenes and sometimes publicly to make sure that we are having information that is that's information, not just a junk that is being passed around, because I consider cell phones as being private property. So when you're getting there, you get there with respect.
Right.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bannavti. Thank you.
We are coming to
that
the end
was
of this. One last hardball question to our dynamic president of Georgia, who is looking for us to create innovative platforms that delivers content with relevancy, and immediacy, and especially to the folks that need it the most at every level of the organizational structure. Given the expertise that I want to call him young man, but he claims that he's now of the elderly generation, but he doesn't look good to me. It's just the hat. With everything you've heard today, what would you say about his candidacy for president of BFU-USA?
That's a tough one on national television. I don't know if you're asking in terms of my personal perspective or the perspective of my people. But I'm only speaking through my own lens.
Yes,
I think he's a good one. He's a good one. There's still some things I'm in the few days to come that I'm nipping and tucking on, but he's right up there on the list. He's answering the questions as expected, and I'm reviewing his past and prior work, and I'm seeing some very good. I'm giving some good check marks. That's all I can say.
Spoken like a politician.
That's what BFU has trained me to be. That's what you guys have trained me to be very honest, but yet be political in how you speak, because then things get misconstrued and everything. So I keep it focused, and I'm just learning from you all.
I love it, folks. But it's been fun chatting with the two of you. I know that we can keep this going. When you have some guests, it really breathes life into a show. And I know that if we are to continue without you having the guests waiting for you and having the kids waiting for you. BFU is a family union, so we have families that are waiting for us to go back to. So I cannot thank the two of you enough for coming on the show today.
No, thank you for having us. Thank you for having me.
So last words before we say our goodbyes, very quickly. Last word. Let's start with ladies first.
All right. Mr. Bannavti, you keep on pushing. You got this. And thank you so much, for doing this. And this is all about our people. It's nothing personal, it's strictly business. So it's all about people. And that's where our focus should really lie.
Thank you. And Mr. Presidential candidate?
Yes, so thank you so much, and I appreciate that Mabel will say that. I've always believed that even we are doing a campaign, as we're currently doing, it should be issues, nothing with any person. If you look at the vision, if you look at what is being articulated as being something worthy of bringing the organization forward, that is what you should put your focus on, not individuals, not faces, not stuff like that. So that is the value that we have in our community, and you know, members like and presidents like Mabel, I think the future of BFU is bright, and I think we can go better places. So it's a great pleasure, and I really appreciate you doing what you're doing. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, folks, you heard it. It's on that note that we call it a day with you. Wherever you are, from the north to the south, east to west, make sure you register for the convention. Make sure you are a member of BFU. Make sure membership is not just by the $50 registration charge. It is being there. So that when Georgia is coming with the long say, I don't know whether they're coming with something else.
Oh yeah, we're coming.
Playing the drums or clapping or singing, because that is who we are. It takes people to bring it alive. And so for these personalities on the show, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Abe Manza.
Thank you, sir. Abe Manza.
Please listen to the children. Listen to the children.
Mama Jesus, onye berim gasia, I jesia, imonisia.
I'm the queen. Before the mom goes anywhere, I must go ahead and check if the coast is clear. My name is Carlton Guy. My title is I am falling down. I am the general of our people's army, Mobile Wing.
Thank you for your service.
I am Anderson Guy, and I am forming back General of our Royal Wing.
His confidence is undeniable.
My name is Noella, and I am Yewong, female traditional leader.
Royalty is evident.
I'm Fabian Jacob Jr. I am the bug, and I'm the leader of our people.
I'm Melissa Njika. I'm Donatella Njika. We are the big and tall. We are the wives of the fun. My name is Bernard. Bernard Gordon. I am the Super. I am one of the 7 advisors of the farm.
My name is Vera
Kasim. My title is the Wiba, the wife of the Shufa. My name is Benedict Yomi, and I am 5, and I am the head of a large family. My name is Fomo Medina, and I am Sheikh. My title is Sheikh. I am a leader of the Sheikh Organization College of Nassau. I am Brian Nasa. I am Sheikh Boy, and I am the leader of a small family. My name is Naomi, and I'm the female coaching leader. Yeah.
My name is Agnes Kwampamuga. I am the female organizer of women.
My name is Isabel Antoni, and I am Gozo, mother of people of color.
So now you have heard it. These are our children representing the traditional title holders. Y'all give them a round of applause. Thank you, children.
Yes.